Mga igsoon, kumusta? Welcome na usab sa atong tulumanon CCTN International Pinoy Journeys. Tungod kay Sabado karon, kami na usab ni Brad Tony ang makig-uban kaninyo. Ako na usab si Divine Marshall Flores live gikan diri sa New Brunswick, Canada.
Ug ako daw sab si Tony Ortega live gikan sa probinsya sa British Columbia, Canada. Good morning Cebu, good evening Canada.
Yes, unsa naman taron sa Pilipinas? Unsa na tarong pitsaha dito, Brad Tony? It's February 2 in the
February
Philippines,
1,
right?
February 1, February 2.
Basta Friday sa Pilipinas. Basta Friday sa Pilipinas. And of course, nato sa akong nahimutangan karon Brad Tony, murag ni peak na pag-ayo ang winter diri sa mong nahimutangan, bugnaw na kaayo. What about in your place?
Actually, it's very unusual kasi when I woke up this morning, akala ko okay lang, may snow pala. So,
Mm.
nag-snow pala. Ang sarap matulog, kaya lang kailangan nating, we need to wake up early because we have our program. And
Yeah,
and
true.
then alam mo ba, Divine, yung when I was watching the issue, when I was reading the online issues about the Philippines now, Cebu
Mm-mm.
daw pala is magkakaroon sila, gagawin nila yung batas ng online payment. So the online payment kasi it's been long period of time na ginagamit natin dito.
Okay. So, gawin nilang batas doon. Okay naman 'yan kasi mas komportable, mas convenient on the part of the customers. And unlike here nga pati pagdi-deposit ng check, pwede mo lang picturean and you can deposit it online, 'di ba? And we don't have that in the Philippines. I hope they will also adapt that sistema ba na medyo mas madali, mas convenient at hindi mauubos yung oras mo sa paglinya ng bank. But ang narinig kong latest, pasensya na sa mga viewers natin, we're speaking Tagalog because our guest will speak English and Tagalog. I think, I don't know, he can understand Cebuano pero dili siya makasulti, no? So mo nang ga-practice na lang sad mi ni Brad Tony og Tagalog karong buntaga sa tong program. But the bad news, Brad Tony, nga akong nadunggan about sa ato, no, is nisaka na sad ang presyo sa itlog after medyo niubos ang presyo sa onions, no? So I don't know unsa pay sunod nga mosaka ani.
Tinuod Attorney Divine, pero bisan pa sa mga issue, bisag na nata diri sa Canada, we are still thinking baka because bisag unsa nandito tayo sa Canada. Pero mayroon pa rin tayong concern, ano mang nangyayari sa Pilipinas. Pero it's very lucky na nandito tayo sa Canada. And I'm so excited na today, ngayon po, magkakaroon tayo ng isang guest na mayroon din siyang tatak na maisi-share niya po para sa atin na sana po nagustuhan nila at magkakaroon po ng inspirasyon sa mga nanonood natin Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, lalo na dito sa Canada to the world.
Mhm. So we will introduce our guest this morning, Brad Tony.
Ang guest po natin ngayon is masasabi natin na isa siyang bigating Pilipinong individual. Pumunta siya sa Canada, malalaman natin kung ano yung journey. At biruin mo naman, akala natin ang Pilipino is we are only in the service. But believe me, ang dami ng Pilipino ngayon nakasalang sa politics and governance. At alam natin na iba yung way of governance sa Pilipinas at saka dito. At ngayon, malalaman natin ngayon. But before that, i-introduce muna natin yung guest natin. Is galing po siya sa Bacolod. Galing po siya sa Sagay. Pumunta siya sa Canada. Isa po siya na nakapag-aral po siya. Ay sa pagkakalam ko, graduate po siya ng College ng Law sa Pilipinas. Pumunta sa Canada. Ngayon malalaman natin ngayon as he is going to start sharing his journey. Ladies and gentlemen, yung guest po natin is no other than Rod Belleza. Sir, magandang gabi, magandang umaga po.
Yes, good morning for the Philippines.
Good morning to both of you. Good morning sa mga kababayan natin sa Pilipinas and dito sa Canada. I am honored to join with your program, and hopefully I could share with you the kind of journey I have in Canada.
Yeah. Okay, but kaganina, Sir Rod, Tony mentioned about politics, and I am curious. You are now a public servant in Canada, right?
Correct.
Uh-huh. So you serve as members of school board?
Yes, I am a trustee of the Board of Education dito sa Richmond, British Columbia.
Ano ba yung counterpart sa Pilipinas natin, sir? Is that Department of Education?
Yes, it's entirely a different kind of governance structure. Sa atin, it's always the Ministry of Education.
Yeah.
And dito, the province authorized a school board to be run by trustee in the cities or municipalities. And we are elected by the people of the city, in my case, here in Richmond, British Columbia.
So Brad Tony, para kayong tumatakbo as city councilor, no? Parang ganon?
The councilor ran the city, while the Board of Education runs the school district.
Okay. Okay, so at least may background tayo na yung guest natin ngayon, isang public servant ng Canada, pero nasa school board, not in the politics. So yung nagmamanage po kayo sa mga schools in your district, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, Tony mentioned that you were born and raised in Bacolod City?
I was born in Sagay.
In Sagay.
But after high school, I lived nasa Bacolod. So practically, I lived and practiced law sa Bacolod.
Okay. So what year po kayo, sir, nag-practice as a lawyer in Bacolod?
I passed the bar of 1975.
Wow, 1975.
And
Batang-bata pa tayo.
I left the Philippines in 1980 when I migrated to Canada.
Okay. So at that time, anong specialize mo na pina-practice doon sa Pilipinas?
After passing the bar, I was appointed muna secretary to the Sangguniang Panglungsod ng Bacolod City.
Okay.
But I decided to have a private practice in less than a year. So I practiced law practically from 1975 to 1980, and specializing. I'm joined with the National Cooperative Union of Sugar of the Philippines as the legal counsel. So because I'd like to help the laborers, those who cannot afford to provide themselves with the legal counsel. So yun ang ano ko by heart. But I practice also with the other fields like civil and criminal law.
Criminal. Okay. But at that time, sir, ilang taon po kayo? 5 years kayong nag-practice your profession as a lawyer. But anong taon po and what made you decide to
Canada.
To migrate? Okay naman yung, 'di ba? Okay naman siguro yung pagpa-practice mo doon kasi lawyer ka na doon, 'di ba? And I think pagdating mo dito sa Canada, parang wala tayong title dito Parang wala tayong parang high school graduate lang ang tingin nila sa atin dito, 'di ba?
Yes. I don't know if you have experienced this during when we were students. I used to be involved with student activism, right? So when I practiced law, that time it was martial law.
Yeah.
So you have to think whether or not the practice of law is conducive to a martial law kind of environment under martial law. So I decided for I guess for family reason, for other, personal reason to try to see what the other parts of the world can we learn and practice. So I decided to join with my wife here in Canada.
Mm-mm.
So but every year, almost every year, I go back to the Philippines and see the kind of practice we have, because I can always go back and see
Yeah.
if which environment, which place you're more happy to live with.
Mm-mm. And then, what happened? Anong nangyari sa observation mo? Parang mas pinili mo yung Canada.
Oh, that's a very good question, because when you're here, you see in different perspective the kind of life, the kind of opportunities you have, comparing to the Philippines. While we have always that desire to practice, there are a lot of things that you can say other purpose other than practicing your profession.
Mm.
So I tried to balance which areas you can deal with and which opportunity you think is far better than the other. So but I always tell myself that if it doesn't work here in Canada,
Mm-mm.
I can always go back to the Philippines, where I am still a member up to now of the Philippine Bar.
Oh,
So it's always comforting to know that you in life you have a lot of opportunities to deal with, and it's up for us based on our personal goals and objectives, will provide us better opportunities and happiness.
wow.
Oh, you're right.
Attorney Divine, na-curious ako sa kanya.
Mm-mm.
Naman, sinabi mo kanina, kapag dumating na tayo dito, kahit ano pa yung educational attainment natin, pagdating parang high school graduate. Anong oras ka pumunta dito, Mr. Belleza?
Anong
Oh,
year?
anong taon? Anong taon ka?
I arrived here in 1980.
Wow.
1980.
1980.
No, okay.
Just disclosure lang sa mga kababayan natin na gustong pumunta dito sa Canada o sa ibang lugar.
Mm-mm.
We always have to be prepared sa mga eventualities.
Mm-mm.
We need to have a kind of positive mental frame of mind. Kasi maraming challenges pag migrate ka sa ibang lugar. And to me, it's no other than those who immigrated before me or even after me. So, ang pagdating mo dito, of course, I think Canadian rin kayo, so probably you have similar experience with me. Siyempre, pagdating mo dito, magpa-evaluate ka ng mga credential mo, right?
Yeah.
So, ang unang tanong is, do you have Canadian experience? Oh, kararating mo lang, how could you have Canadian experience? So, you have to apply kung anong
Trabaho.
for work, or you have to, I guess, decide kung ano ang gagawin mo.
Mm-mm.
So, siyempre, sa akin, mag-assess ng credential and then mag-apply ng trabaho, because here in Canada is entirely different sa lifestyle sa Pilipinas.
Yes.
Dito, pagdating mo, marami kang mga marami ka ng bills, right? So you need of course to work. And maganda lang dito kasi may dignity of labor.
Yes.
Ibig ko sabihin, hindi nila tinatanong kung anong trabaho. They only ask whether you have Canadian experience. Importante na may trabaho ka. It's better than those unemployed, right?
Yes.
So, ang problema, they are looking for schools as with your academic background kung recognized dito sa Canada. Usually, it's only University of the Philippines. So, ano tayo dyan? Bihado tayo dyan. Then, tinatanong kung anong trabaho mo, right?
Mm.
So, kailangan dito, either may ticket ka or ang trabaho mo relevant sa ina-applyan mo na trabaho.
Mm-mm.
Dito sa atin, kung nagpa-practice ka ng law, pagpa-assess ka, kita tanong kung ilang years ang experience mo.
Yeah.
In my case, less than 10 years.
Mm-mm.
So they will require you to go back to school. In my case, I have to go back. Because dito, iba ang legal system dito. It's a common law country. Therefore, whatever practices they have will form part of the legal system. So, yun ang problema if you don't live here and know nothing about the common law practices in Canada. So, in short,
Yes.
yun ang handicap mo.
Mm.
So, kailangan mo i-overcome yun because if you don't have the positive frame of mind, you feel having a problem. And sometimes, alam ko na yung ibang mga kababayan natin become depressed because doon sa atin, maganda yung kanilang trabaho.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're exposed to a very big problem, right? So
But in your
that's
case,
only one. That's only one.
In your case, Sir Rod, you are a lawyer in the Philippines. Anong trabaho ang you try to apply in Canada pagdating mo? That you try to apply?
Legal assistant, you know, I'd like to apply for teaching. Ito ang biro ko because kung hindi ka graduate, like for example, University of the Philippines, na recognize nila, you are not qualified to teach.
Okay.
Okay? So, kailangan mo, you have to go back to school again to have the necessary credential in order for you to teach. So that's another problem, right? And then you have to have some kind of accreditation. And sometimes it's difficult to have that kind of accreditation so that you can just, you can be qualified to work in some jobs here. So sa akin, because of the financial needs that we are facing here when you immigrate, you have to work. Okay, so I work for 2 months in an assembly line, and I work as bookkeeper of the Urarda outboard. Then I work in the bank in order for me to have a designation. And my designation in Canada is FICB, that means Fellow of the Institute of Canadian Bankers.
Mhm.
So I use that as a stepping stone for my business in the financial services, which I worked for more than almost 30 years. So it gives me the kind of opportunity for financial freedom or financial independence.
Mhm.
So what I could say is, what is nice in Canada is you can develop your full potential if you are willing to work that hard and gain experience, and also try to uh, uh, learn something, or try to have some kind of courses or degrees that you can use for your line of work.
Mm.
Mr. Belleza, yung na-encounter mo yon galing sa Pilipinas, prinasis mo yung mga papilas, nakita mo na yung, oh, ito pala, struggle. Hindi ba naisipan, hindi ba dumating sa isipan mo, ay, bumalik na lang kaya ako sa Pilipinas?
Oh, it I have thought of that several times, that every time you encounter some kind of barriers or challenges, you always think of which place can provide me a better opportunity. But you have to remember, you have to balance your family life with your success. And because you have a family here, there's a saying that no amount of success that can compensate for the failure in the home. So that is a priority too. So I always try myself to give another chance to find and develop some kind of whatever potential.
Mhm.
And so it's always a struggle to me. But as I mentioned, I'm a kind of person who always give myself a try, a challenge to overcome. And so I didn't quit.
Mm.
I tried to work harder.
Mhm.
I tried to learn more about business and make sure that I have that, will to succeed.
Okay.
And only then that you will uh, overcome whatever challenges you have,
Mm.
especially here in Canada.
Okay. This time, mag-commercial break muna tayo. Pagbalik natin, itatanong din natin kay si Rod, ano yung ibang challenges na na-experience mo aside from looking for a job, culture, food, and everything, weather. Yeah. Yes, we
At yung
will
siya na
discuss.
talaga.
Yeah, we will discuss that when we return. Stand by. Mubalik ta human ni ini. Okay, balik na usab kita sa atong tulumanon CCTN International Pinoy Journeys ug Brad Tony atong balikan tong nahibili na tong mga pangutana kanina before the commercial break. So, another challenge na posibleng ma-experience ng mga baguhan dito sa Canada, si Rod, is yung weather, yung culture, yung pagkain. How was it during your time when you arrived in Canada? May struggle din ba kayo about sa culture, sa pagkain at sa weather?
Yes, when you immigrated to a different country, like in my case in Canada, of course, you have that Filipino accent. That's
Mm.
one thing. Whenever you talk to or apply, you, you will always have that kind of accent where you have some kind of problem relating to the kind of communication that they have.
Mm.
But to me, it's not that much of a problem because we have our educational system.
Mm-mm.
The Philippines, we are being taught in English, right?
Yes.
But you cannot deny you still have a Filipino accent.
Mm.
And second one, the culture. Ibang kultura dito. We had been influenced by the British. So ang kultura is more of that of the British Commonwealth countries.
Mm-mm.
So the legal system, the whatever community practices that they have, may diferensya compared to sa atin sa Pilipinas.
Yes.
And then the food. This is, I'm glad that we have a very multicultural country or place like Richmond. So hindi lang Filipino, but other kinds of dishes coming from other communities, you know. So mag-adjust ka rin dyan. But you know what? There are so many authentic restaurants in Richmond. So matuto kang I guess appreciate ng ibang pagkain dito sa Canada or sa Richmond. Then of course the other thing to consider, you cannot deny may mga discrimination dito.
Yeah.
Although I seldom experience other than the kind of discrimination because you have an accent. All what I've done is try to help other mga kababayan natin na may mga problema sa pag-apply or being discriminated because of the reasons, that they have experience.
Mm-mm.
So just to help them, I'd been the president of the Richmond Multicultural Concern Society, where multicultural issues had been raised. As a matter of fact, they organized some Filipino organization here that would address issues that relate to Filipino and Canadian communities. So tumutulong lang tayo sa mga kababayan natin at sa ating sarili rin na how to address all these challenges being an immigrant of this country.
Mm-mm.
But usually ang mahirap yung pag-apply sa trabaho.
Mr. Rod, mayroon akong tanong sa iyo.
Sure.
Sa pagkakalam po namin, isa ka po ngayong community leader at saka nanalo ka sa school board. And I believe hindi ka lang nanalo this time kasi sa pagkakalam namin, nagiging school board ka for 2 times sa Richmond bago nangyari itong ano naman mo ngayon, time mo naman na halal ka uli. Gaano ba ka-importante na mag-involve sa community? Kasi nagiging community leader ka ron, nandoon ka na sa school board. Nakakatulong ba yung involvement mo sa community, lalo na po na mayroon kang association na pinundar dyan sa City of Richmond?
That's a very good question because in the election, people always would like to know your track records. So I've been serving our community for more than 30 years.
Wow.
I've been at JC, I've been a member of the Knights of Columbus. I've been a Rotarian, or I'm a Rotarian, and I've been involved with many Filipino and Canadian associations and community associations in Richmond. So they know my track record. They know how I serve the community. So but the most important thing is, I believe that service to humanity is the best work of life. So para sa akin, that is where I channel some kind of negative energy to positive by helping our community, helping our neighbors. Being a Christian, I think the most important thing is to help our neighbors, whether here in the Philippines or abroad. I consider, trying to make a difference in the lives of other people. And to me, it's my nature to help. And I think in the same token that I'm being rewarded, I believe, for the works I've done. So nakatulong yun sa eleksyon because, our community, they'd like to know whether you have helped our community. And I think the same with the people in Richmond at large. They know that I started being, a trustee in 2008. I was re-elected in 2011. And I ran after that, and I lost. So I have to learn why, right? This is a situation where you need to have kind of positive mental attitude, because by knowing the problem and how to overcome it would be, a challenge. And I'm glad that I was given the opportunity to serve again. So to me, I this time I was in the Philippines. I'm about ready to retire, and but somebody convinced me to run. So I don't want to have any but or if. This is an opportunity for me to see if I could still have that opportunity to serve the people of Richmond. But thank God that I have given the opportunity, because when I filed last minute my candidacy, it's giving me the, I guess, the opportunity for the last time, if I can say that, na magserbisyo sa tao dito sa community natin sa Richmond.
Sir, anong kaibahan sa tingin mo? Kasi parang politics din yung pinasukan mo, 'di ba? Kasi you will be elected by the people. So kung sakali that opportunity is from the Philippines, somebody would convince you to run in the Philippines, do you think you will accept the challenge?
It's a very good question. To run for trustee is a politic by itself. Yes. Because we are being chosen by body politics.
Yes.
I mean, by the people. Different lang ang siniservisyohan mo. While the councilor, we are the same level with the councilors, because they themselves are also being elected by the same people who are electing us.
Yeah.
Different lang ang body na you're trying to serve.
Yes.
So now your question is, if I'm given the opportunity to serve here or in the Philippines, You know, there are many offers or questions related to that. You know, I've been the secretary of the Sangguniang Panglungsod in 1975.
Mm.
That was a prelude to
To
joining
the politics.
or running for
Mm.
politics, right? For the city. But because for reason that I mentioned that I migrated to Canada, hindi natuloy. But I don't have any regret. But you know, when I go back, more, you know, oftentimes in the Philippines, my friends who had been serving already, you know, mga contemporary ko, either they're mayor, judges, or congressman, you know, and they are inviting me to join the party and run with them. But you know, I still have the obligations dito sa Canada. I don't know. I would, as a politician, I would not say no. But if there is an opportunity to serve, I would love to. But in the meantime, what I'm doing in the Philippines is trying to help, you know, help some of the people who are poor, and you know, especially providing them the opportunity to enable them to become literate, to become educated, and make sure that democracy is working for the good of the people.
Mm-mm.
Sir, kasi nandoon ka na sa school board. Ano sa tingin mo, sir, yung mga, I know you're serving the community as a whole, pero I'm asking this specifically for the Filipino community, especially for the Filipino kids who are now studying in Richmond. Anong sa palagay mo sa yung ano niya, yung level po ng mga Pilipinong pumapasok? Kasi hindi natin maiwasan din ng mga ibang pamilya nag-migrate dito sa Canada. Hindi natin maiwasan na, instead na mag-aral, magtrabaho sila. So, anong sa palagay mo, based on your own observation?
People who the school board, first of all, the school board is the one running the school, the district, the school district. And the school board is the policy making body of the city of Richmond. And then there in the schools, there are many, I think we are the third largest ethnic minority in the school district. So many parents, many kids are involved in the school life here in the district. And so we make sure that everybody, you know, will be provided with a kind of quality education. So that's very important, because I think education, quality education is our best gift to our children. I believe that. So ang ginagawa, pag nag-enroll sila, they are being helped and supported by our staff para mabigyan sila ng whatever kind of quality educations we have here in the school district. Now, that's for the parents and for the children. So, sa community natin, siyempre, hindi lang education ang mga problema natin. So, dito, we are trying to reach out sa mga parents na kung paano natin ma-overcome yung mga challenges sa eskwelahan o sa bahay natin. So one thing I like to emphasize that here in the school district, because of the inclusiveness, because of the diverse makeup, yung mga special kids natin are being well supported para mabigyan sila ng inclusive educational opportunities. Gaya iba-iba sa atin sa Pilipinas. Kung may mga special kids tayo doon, hindi masyado malaki ang
Nagano'ng suporta.
Yeah.
So medyo nakakawawa. You know, when I go back and take a look and see what's going on, it breaks my heart, right? Dito, we try our best that the exceptional kids, the special kids, the regular kids are being given the opportunity to develop their individual potential. That's what I like from the educational system dito sa Canada, because the goal of public education is to enable our children to become literate, develop their individual potential, and to acquire knowledge and skills needed for our democratic, pluralistic society, and to have that kind of progressive and sustainable economy. So yun ang nagustuhan ko sa iba-iba sa Pilipinas. Kasi doon sa atin, iba ang patakaran.
Yeah.
Dito, we are trying not to compete with each other, but to develop the individual potential of our children. So maganda iba ang
Approach nila.
konsepto, iba ang resulta.
Sir, speaking of quality of education, I don't know what is your observation kasi sabi nila may mga research in the Philippines, the quality of education daw in the Philippines nag-deteriorate, most especially in public school, lalo na sa mga urban areas, no? Kasi sobrang kulang yung textbooks, kulang yung upuan, kulang yung
Technology.
yeah, lahat kulang. But kung ipadala natin yung mga graduate natin from the Philippines to other countries, nag-excel sila because we can speak English.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So, do you agree na yung quality of education sa Pilipinas medyo nag-deteriorate siya? Kasi parang lamang pa rin tayo. Pag pumunta tayo dito, yung mga Korean nga, hindi marunong mag-English, di ba? Pati yung mga Chinese. So, what do you think?
It's a very good observation, a very good question. You know, as I've mentioned, I think one of the reasons why I'd like to go back to the Philippines is just to
I'd like to go back talaga.
just to share whatever educational system we have here in the Philippines, right? Maraming challenges ang educational system natin sa Philippines. And then, ang tanong kung do we have a very good educational system in the Philippines? I would say, I'm inclined to say yes. As a matter of fact, the Filipinos are one of the most literate, the Philippines, one of the most literate countries in the world. Pero kung i-relate natin in practical terms and result, relating even to politics, bakit ang question, ano bang nangyari? Bakit ang mga na-learn natin sa schools hindi natin pina-practice?
Yeah, hindi na-apply.
Hindi na-apply. You know what's going on in our political system. Corruptions, right? Poverty. Different kinds of social issues. Ang tanong, kung epektibo ba yung ating educational system sa Pilipinas that the people are trying to apply. I think ang educational system natin is very strong, vibrant. However, ang problema lang doon, parang hindi na instill sa tao ang pag-apply because of some other reasons.
Posible ba yun, sir? Sir Rod, posible po ba na iba yung pananaw ng tao sa education at iba din ang pananaw ng mga taong sa politics? Kasi po, mayroon magandang edukasyon sa Pilipinas. Here is it. Pero ayaw naman willingness to implement on the government side. I know pag i-implement mo yun, magkakaroon ng batas. So,
Yes, so
posible po ba yun na ang ganun ang nangyari?
yes, that observation is correct, and I'll tell you why. Marami tayong batas, right?
Yeah. Sobra.
Marami. Ang problema, some of them are not practiced or implemented.
Mhm.
Okay. What I'm trying, I guess, to allude or to say, magandang educational system natin. Ang problema lang, wala tayong national discipline to apply or to make use of it. Ang resulta, ang gobyerno natin, if I can borrow the words of some critics, terribly ang korupsyon. Okay? So we asked ourselves, did our educational system fail in that regard? Tinuturo, pero hindi naman ina-apply.
Yeah.
Okay? Then, in terms of governance, alam nyo naman, marami tayong layay, marami tayong mga sinasabing benepisyo sa bayan.
Mm-mm.
What happened? Did it go to the people? I think it's our, we don't have that national discipline to really work it out. May kasabihan na the danger of democracy lie if good citizens do nothing.
Mm.
So when you say do nothing, they learn but they do nothing.
Yes.
There is something wrong in our educational system.
Yeah.
Ang maganda dito sa Canada, if I compare it, may tinatawag na prescribed learning outcome. In every subject, like for example, if you would like to instill discipline, if you'd like to instill something good, or shall we say to be honest or to be whatever desired outcome you'd like, parang it form parts of the curriculum, it form parts of every subject, like social justice, like stuff like that.
Mm-mm.
So pag lumaki na yung mga bata, na-instill na sa mind nila. Pero sa problema sa Pilipinas, ibang tinuturo,
Ibang.
posible sa eskwelahan, iba naman ang tinuturo sa labas.
Mm.
Ang karamihan natin, in short, parang shortcut.
Mm-mm.
Mas we appreciate sa mga tao parang marunong kung marunong silang mag-shortcut. But
Mm-mm.
sometimes, shortcut might not for the benefit ng community natin at sang nation natin.
Mm-mm.
Sir Rod,
So,
naniwala ka ba, Sir Rod, na yung mga program o sabihin natin mga subjects na ino-offer sa Pilipinas, hindi yun magagamit in the workplace after graduation? Ang nangyayari dito is parang lumalabas na too much commercialization of the education. Sa case po ng Richmond School Board, kayo po ba ang gumagawa ng mga programs? And then, if kayo naman is kailangan bang isabatas yan sa bylaw ng City of Richmond?
that's a very good question. The way it works in Canada or in BC, may mga school curriculum na na-approve ng ministry, right? But the school board can have a board education subject or educational subject that they can formulate and authorize for the school district to offer sa mga eskwelahan. So it's both. I would say we have that authority to offer subjects on the basis of the needs of the school districts and the community. But may mga curriculum na na-approve ng ministry dito sa atin. Yun ang mga requirements for us to make sure that we are in compliance with the School Act. So it's nice na ang school board will have the authority to add some more subjects na hindi included sa school curriculum.
Sir, you mentioned a while ago about the problem in the Philippines. Strong yung educational system sana natin. Tapos ito yung tinuturo natin, iba naman ang ginagawa natin, di ba? Yung honesty sa school nga is the best policy. Pero pagdating sa politics, walang honesty dyan. And I think you and I were from the legal profession in the Philippines. I think meron ding role dito yung the way they implemented our laws. Kasi alam naman natin na pag politician yung involved, parang ang dali nila ma-absuelto, di ba? Like the pork barrel fund scam. Ang dali nila ma-absuelto, tapos yung mga chief of staff na convicted. So paano nangyari yun? So I think naging komplikado yung problema natin dahil din dun sa justice system natin. What do you think?
Ang problema natin sa Pilipinas, we have so many laws, but ang implementation. I'll give you an example. Dito, pag nag-run ka sa public office, mayroon kang mga disclosures. Ilagay mo lahat ng mga assets mo, liabilities mo, and then there is a follow-up. In other words, parang ino-audit ka. Kung
nag-gain ka ba or
kung nagko-comply ka at saka
statement of assets and liabilities
mo para malaman nila if you are trying to make use of your I guess authority and office for your own benefits, which is a conflict of interest. Sa Pilipinas, mayroon rin sila.
Meron, SALN.
Yes.
yeah.
However, tingnan natin kung they're trying to implement the law. Tingnan nyo ang resulta. I think everybody knows na walang hindi nila kino-comply yung law na yan. So, ang nag-i-implement ang problema, who is implementing and whether or not it is being implemented properly. Because if you implement that, yun lang ang isang example. I think most of the politicians might be having a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would agree with me.
I agree.
But ang problema lang, I don't think they are trying to really or trying to implement the law.
Yeah.
And that is a big problem. And then ang problema, kung halimbawa hindi nagko-comply ang mga politicians, the people don't do anything, don't do something to really voice out
to hold them accountable.
That kind of problem. At ang problema naman sa tao, they cannot voice out because nabinta na ni kanilang mga boto.
The campaign.
So it is a cycle, right?
Yes,
but
you're right.
I believe that sovereignty resides in the people, and all government authority emanate from them, and that should be the source of the power of the people to question. Kasi ang politics, ang democracy is simple. We elect the people. That's our responsibility. And secondly, the most important thing is that we make sure that these politicians are working for us, not for themselves. Of course, there are always problems in every country, in every politics, but rampant ang sa Pilipinas. Dito sa Canada, we are very good because the people are well-disciplined, brave enough to really advocate for the rights and for the implementations of the law.
Sir, may follow-up question po ako sa iyo, sir.
Hmm.
Ganito po ang nangyari. Sa observation po, kay dumating ako 2009. Ngayon, ganito pa rin tayo. Bumuboto na po tayo. Sa Canada, pag ang isang politiko is mayroon siyang issue, pag alanganin po siya is malalaman mo na lang the following day nag-quit siya sa posisyon niya. Sa Pilipinas, kahit nang doon na pwede mo na siyang ilagay sa bilangguan, gagawa ka pa rin ng paraan paano po matulungan na magiging iba yung kaso. Bakit kaya sa kultura sa Canadian is parang madali tayong mahiya, okay, mag-exit na ako, parang bakit kaya ganon?
I think that's a very good question. It boils down to our education and our discipline, national discipline. Kasi I was also asked sa Pilipinas whether I'm in favor of a parliamentary system. You know, to me, whether it's presidential, parliamentary, it's a good kind of form of government as long as the people understand how it works, right? Sabi ko yung sinasabi mo kanina, sabi ko, ang question lang dyan, if you have, kasi ang practice parliamentary form of government, kung ang governing party lose the confidence, nagre-resign, right? Pero ang question ko, sa Pilipinas, may nagre-resign ba dito? Ang answer is, matapos lang ang term, hindi pa naka-resign.
Di ba?
Exactly.
Because of the fundamental difference between our political system doon at saka dito.
Yeah.
So,
So ang nangyari, sir, tatakbo ulit, 'di ba? After nag-end yung term, kahit ang daming controversy during their time, tatakbo ulit at nanalo ulit.
yes, where can you find a country na ang karamihan na nanalo, karamihan iba may mga cases ng plunder.
Yeah. So very discouraging, and I think malaki ang ano, kaya ganito yung ekonomiya natin because of those people that running our government, right?
Sir, pagbigyan ka po ng pagkakataon ng consultancy, alam ko sa ngayon is kasi nandun ka pa sa school board. I don't know kung masasabi man natin na magiging conflict of interest kung sakali mang may bibigyan ka na opportunity na magiging consultant po sa isang agency sa Pilipinas. After your retirement, tanggapin mo hindi. Kasi may interesado kasi may potential ka na. Kunyari po, ang Department of Education mag-offer ng isa, sabihin nila, we need to hire consultant internationally. Retired ka na sa trabaho mo, well, hindi ka na connected sa City of Richmond. Will you accept it?
You know, I like that kind of question because, as you know, I said service to humanity is the best work of life. Pinabalance lang natin sa ating personal at sa family needs, right?
And that is a JC creed, sir, ha?
Yeah, as long as I'm healthy,
Yeah.
you know, with regard to the Philippines, I like to help our country. As a matter of fact, whatever resources I have, I'd like to help kids or students who would be given the opportunity to finish their education. I came from a humble beginning, and the opportunity was very hard. So I'd like to help those people who are similarly situated with my situation. If I could help that, I would be very happy. And you know, again, ang importante na makatulong tayo sa mga kababayan natin at para sa magandang kinabukasan.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, if I've given that opportunity, as long as I'm healthy, my family is okay, I would be willing to help.
Yeah, we would need people like you, no? Why not? Pilipino tayo. Okay, so sir, sa kunting oras natin, ano po yung message mo para sa mga kababayan, para sa mga public servant na katulad mo? Anong message mo po sa kanila?
Well, in terms of public service is a public trust, be it here in Canada or in the Philippines. And I think we need to encourage our people to have that national discipline, especially in the Philippines. And here, in Canada, we continue our diverse, community to have an inclusive and to have equity, because that's the only way in a multicultural society to prosper and thrive.
Okay.
So again, as a public servant, I want to devote my time and my resources to be of service to our community and to the school district of the city of Richmond, and looking forward to have that opportunity to serve. And personally, I'd like to have to share my goals and objectives in life. There are only four H's, just like the 4-H club. First, if you could promote your health, home, holiness, and happiness. Hopefully that, you will have a good health, no success in your home, and holiness in your heart, and happiness overall, that you are physically, mentally, spiritually happy. I wish you all the very best.
Okay, thank you sir for your time. Brad Tony, wala ta igong oras, manamilit na lang ta sa atong mga televiewers. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. So,
and thank you to both of you too.
yes, have a nice day everyone.
Thank
God
you.
bless.